I did miss it, Mike.
All
I
right,
don't believe that for a second.
take a gander up here. First of all, the slope of the vertical line. It's always important to remember that slope is rise over run, or how far how far up over. So this line here, it goes up forever. It could be anything. The problem is the over part. This line has no width, so the over part is the 0. And you can't have, no matter what, if you put 5 or whatever here, you can't have 0 on the bottom. So the question we're having is undefined the same as no slope? That's what I'm going to Google right now, so you can see it and never have that issue again.
I said no slope when I looked. No
Yeah.
slope is horizontal.
Mine says undefined from horizontal. I did look it up. Because it says no slope is crossed off for a vertical.
Wait, we're looking at no slope?
Vertical line slope.
What? I was gonna say, I got no.
Here we go, look at it, they got it right here. 0 slope is a horizontal line, no slope is the same as undefined.
Aha!
Okay.
So I'm
Wait, so
right.
undefined and 0 is the same thing?
No, undefined and no slope is the same.
No slope and
No slope is-
undefined are the same.
The 0 slope.
Zero slope is a horizontal line. That would be good point put in notes. Vertical line is undefined and no slope. Same thing. You probably said that. I probably have to look that up every time. So just know Miles test as a horizontal line, you're gonna have to put it as 0 slope.
That's why I put that in the system.
See, that's what studying does for you. Undefined
Yeah.
or no slope. Altenberg, did you have a question?
17.
7. A fruit stand sells 3 pounds of tomatoes for $2. Graph the relationship and use the graph to establish the cost of 7 pounds. Well, here's your thought, sir. This is what I would do. The cost of tomatoes, 3 pounds for $2. If you are graphing that, first of all, 0 pounds would cost $0, right?
Yeah.
It said that 3 pounds cost $2. The question is, which one are you making? Which one are you making the pounds, and which ones are you making the dollars? X would be the LBs, because you always take pounds times whatever much to get this. So 3 pounds costs $2. Right there, Alton Boint. This is where you're going to want to get yourself a nice little graph, because that's what it said to do. Did it say graph it? You have 2 points. You've got the origin, 0 pounds costing that, and you've got 3 pounds. 3 pounds costing $2. Now, this is where you're going to need to do it with a ruler on a real grid with a ruler, because you want to see, you're going to connect the dots to that. But I don't know. You're going to connect the dots to that. And it said estimate the cost of 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have to figure out where this line crosses right here. And if you did it out, it crossed somewhere between $4 and $5. And if you get close enough, you shouldn't have put $5 because I don't think it was at $5. Where's your graph?
I put $4.67.
That would be perfect. But you could actually figure it out exactly, I suppose, if you really wanted to. Because you just say to yourself, 3 times what number gives you 2? 3 times what number gives you 2? Well, divide by 3. You are paying 2/3 of $1 per pound. So 7 times 2/3 is what? 14/3,
Which is 4.6. 6.
It's not a -3?
What? What? -3.
No.
What?
Is it
So why did you think of it?
Yeah,
The
it
blue
shouldn't
line
be.
is the graph. Yeah.
This is my axis.
Oh.
You're not selling, there's no way you can sell this part of the graph really
That's
doesn't
the
exist. Again, the key on this, children, is this. You don't have to do the exact calculation, which this was. If you draw your .00 here and figure out the other one, you just go over to 7 and up, and everybody's happy. Happy. Escape.
We already did this game.
Yes, I don't want to do 15 again. Davos?
20.
Not 20, anything good there. Barry selling baseball cards, he sold 2 for 7 and 3 for 10. What will Barry charge for 5 baseball cards if he keeps selling cards at the same rate? I know there's an easy way to do this. Do you know what it is?
The answer was 16.
I know, but I'm looking for
It takes so much effort. Like they don't have like.
No, it doesn't. You just make a graph.
well, graph
Well, it
would
is
work.
right.
You could
Did
find
you get it right?
Yeah.
You could
I just
find
made
the
a
slope.
table.
Right, I was gonna say.
So did I.
But they're
It
different
seems,
things.
seems to me that there is a easier way to do it, because
They don't have the same skill factors.
You could.
I literally
made a table and got $16.
but there's gotta be, I know that the table
Well,
is
the
what I
first one
was
is 3.5, and the next one is 3 and 1/3.
2 for 7,
You should see her. Yeah, it does.
3 for 10. Let me look, who's got their book there? Look at lesson 52.
I just rolled my
What?
it went 7 and 10.
What? It's so easy.
No.
You just.
What's that?
I don't remember what.
Is it under what's? They're just graphing the line there, so I'm guessing Parker's way is probably still your best bet. At 2-7, you put a point. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At 3-10, you put a point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10.
And then where it
And
crosses
then you
5.
just draw that line, and then wherever it crosses 5, that's going to be about your dollar. Was it an exact amount? What was the
16,000.
Parker had a smart.
All I did was make a table and add 1 to one side and 3 to the other.
I just counted 3. I just went
Well-
7, 10.
Oh, yeah, for.
And-
No way. No way.
Here's the deal. If you keep selling them at the same rate, look, the difference between, to go from this to this is 1, and to go from 7 to 10 means they just added 3 for every card after that. So 4 cards would cost you 13, because you add 3. 5 cards would cost you 16, which is gonna be what this ends up being, that we put that line up there. I mean, it's $3 a card, if it's the same rate. If it's the same rate. The thing that kind of messes you up is if you use the graph, even though you would buy 0 cards, you'd still get charged something, correct? Is that the way it, because it would go there. But if you just, if this says it's the same rate, you know, the rate is 1 every card you add plus that.
Hey, Davis, cap. Okay.
Oh no, not again.
Been to Mexico for too long.
You are in big trouble.
She's not looking over your glasses, you're fine.
Wait,
Oh.
your mom said I should call you to the office and make you feel bad.
You can always tell when this one is joking. She would come in with a story. That was one. So there's my note to self, children, on tomorrow's. You know, look to see the difference in X and the difference in Y. This is just 1, so for every 1, it's going to go up $3. So the 4th card would go up $3, the 5th card would go up $3. You could still draw the graph. Again, I see the confusion because if you do that line, you're going to end up crossing the y-axis at 0 cards costing you some money, which it shouldn't.
Wait, was like.
The iceberg. What else we got here?
You said the chat. You were like,
Westfall,
1. What do you do?
lucky number 1. Well, this one should not cause you too much consternation. Did you draw the rectangle, Westfall?
No, I did not. That's
Why would you not?
because I'm not responsible enough to do that, and I
don't-
says
Because to me, it's a rectangle. Does it not say rectangle? And then does it not give you the dimensions of the rectangle? What are the dimensions of the rectangle, Carly?
X plus 3.
One is x minus 3 and one is x plus 3. And how do you find the area of a rectangle?
Length.
Area equals length times width. So you have to multiply those two together. X minus 3 times x plus 3, which means you have to use FOIL. Two first terms are x squared. The outside term is plus 2x. The inside term is, plus 3x. The inside term is minus 3x, which gives you no x's when you put those together. And then the two last terms is negative 3 times 3. Squared minus 9. Again, the frustrating part, Carter Westphal, is ever since 5th grade you've been told to sketch things out, and you still continue. Even after being a poster boy or a formula boy on the board, you still continue to. Fran?
Ready number 8.
Number 8. Who got 8 right? What was your first? Because I do this multiple different ways.
I guess for the.
What, Parker, did you do first? Did you do the distributive property first, or did you make all the exponents go to the top, or did you make all the exponents positive? What did you do?
Distributive property.
Oh.
You did the distributive property without,
I know
right
what
off
I
the bat.
want.
Alright, so let's just do it that way, because you can do it in multiple ways. So you're gonna multiply this times this, and then multiply that times that. So here's what it looks like. This times this. A to the negative 2a, b, and you multiply that together, over b, c to the negative 3. Now we're gonna have to simplify that here in a minute, but we'll just keep that. Same thing over here. A to the negative 2 times c b cubed, over b to a to the negative 3 power. So that's getting rid of the parentheses. Now you have to simplify every term. So how does that work? Well, let's look at b and b. These are going to cross off because they're identical. What is an a to the negative 2a? Add their exponents together, you end up with a to the negative 1, correct? And then I've got a to the negative, well, I'm going to rewrite it here. A to the negative 1 over c to the negative 3. What's wrong with those?
Negative.
The negative exponents. How do I fix negative exponents, Jacob?
You switch them.
Right. I'm just going to move the c to the 3 on top, and I'm going to move the a on the bottom. So there's my first term, simplified. This one, again, it's goofy. I'll cross off this 1b with 2 of the 3 there. This leaves me with a b squared there, right? I'm going to move this one to the top. A to the negative 3 to the top becomes a to the positive 3. When I put that with the a to the negative 2, what's that become? Just an a. And I still have this c sitting there. So this is the second term simplified. Putting both of them where they belong, we get c cubed over a plus a b squared c. None of that is difficult. It is slightly confusing though. And you may want to use a little more paper than maybe I did there, but another way to do it, well, I'll just leave it like that. Wait.
5.
Wait, what'd you get in trouble for? What'd you get in trouble for?
I did not have that one.
Oh, nice of your mother to bail you out. How about on this case here, when you add and subtract fractions, what are you supposed to do? Write them up and down. I'm just going to do that just because I like to be consistent. I have 6x over y squared minus 8x over y squared. First thing I have to do is find common denominators. Wade, what is my common denominator? It is. It's already got common denominators. So my answer is going to have y squared in the bottom. I just need to combine the tops. And Wade, what is 6x minus 8x? Negative 2x. And that's all it is. It doesn't matter whether you put the negative with the 2 or out in front or even on bottom. They're all the same. I hope that was the answer, wasn't it? Gauss.
How do you pick number 7?
Did we do 7 already?
No,
Should we do 7?
yes,
You didn't get 7 right either?
no.
Oh. Is everybody looking on this? Because you really need to focus on it. Here was another example of why can't I just cross off the 6 x's?
They're not factors.
Because it's not multiplication, it's all addition. In order to get anything to cross off, you are going to have some parentheses and some other stuff out there. So you need to, first of all, for number 7, factor top and bottom. What can I take out of 3x squared and 6x?
3x.
A 3x. And remember, it is a 3 times an x. That's what 3x is. If I take 3x out of this, I'm left with an x, because it's x squared. If I take a 3x out of 6x, I'm left with a 2, because 3x times 2 gives me 6x. On the bottom, change colors just because I like some colors. What can I take out of those?
6.
A 6. You can take a 6 out. I'll go with that. If you take a 6 out, you're left with an x plus a 2. Oh, look, how nice of that.
What about, why is it not? Okay.
Let's get there. These are identical, so they cross off. And you must also understand that the 3 and the 6 can also be reduced. 3 goes into 3 once, into 6 twice. So you're left with just an x on top and just a 2 on the bottom. And then I believe, because of this, it said state the excluded value. You can't get a 0 on the bottom of the fraction, so it said x could not equal a negative 2. Because if you put a negative 2 in there, you get a 0 on the bottom, hence rendering everything virtually ineffective. Now I see it. Now, your question title.
That answers my question.
See, it's always the best thing. Ask your question. Wade's looking at it perplexedly. Yeah, and if you only took a 3 out of this, you're not going to get terms to cross out like they should have. Evelyn,
What's the answer to
number 9. Was this 13 or 12? 9 was negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. You have a question on that, or is that?
No.
Fate.
3?
Number 3. Find the degree of the monomial. Degrees, to find degrees, children, you add all exponents of variables together. Not the numbers. If the number had an exponent, it doesn't matter. But if I do that, make this ginormous, that should be very unclear. You have a 3, a 1, and a 4. Putting all those together, you end up with a degree of 8. Is that big enough?
No.
It has to be a little bigger.
Did you have 7? Would you have 8?
What's the thing where it would be 4? Because it's the greatest one in.
That's if you
Seven.
have a polynomial, which
Oh.
means you'd have to have a bunch of these stuff together, like it'd be 3x plus 2x squared y minus 4xyz.
So that's
Then
what
you look at each one individually and you take the one that has the most. Like this has a degree of 1, this has a degree of 3, this has a degree of 2. This would be the degree you would take. But this was just a single monomial, so you just do it individually. Oh, boy.
9.
I did 9 already, didn't I?
No.
I always like to say that all the time. What? What is the question, my mind?
How do you do it?
Yeah.
No, I mean, what is the question?
Determine which.
Determine which of the values below is
Right, so you need to basically solve this. So you have 5 minus 2x is less than 9. To solve it, just like an equation, subtract 5, you get 4. Now here's where you gotta be careful. Anytime you see an inequality and the letter is negative, the sign is going to switch. You are going to divide this by a -2, this by a -2, but this sign is going to switch to its opposite. So you end up with an x being greater than -2. So you look at this, and any number that is greater than a -2 would be part of the answer. This is greater, that's greater, that's greater, that's greater. -2 is not greater than -2. It is -2, but it's not greater than -2. This is so exciting. Way the day.
What was the answer for?
4 seemed to be -6a cubed b minus 12a b squared minus 9a b c. All the way.
Answer to 12.
12 is 8/5. Is that what you got? Connor.
11.
The answer?
Yes.
1 and 3. Or 1 comma 3. Where it crosses at 1 and 3. Savage? Wow. So least common multiple is 280. 280. Should I do that one? Do you know remember how to do the?
Yeah, I got it right.
You should do that.
Huh? I should? Which one is it?
10.
Number 10. So it's good to know. First of all, don't get it mixed up with greatest common factor. It's least common multiple. Best way to do it if you've got 3 numbers like that is step 1, prime factorize. The prime factorize 7 is just 7. Prime factorize 8. 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. I'm just going to do that. And prime factorize 10, 2 times 5. With me on the prime factorizing there part?
Yeah.
Then you take the group that has the most of each factor. This one has the most 7s, this one has the most 2s, this one has the most 5s. You take those and then you re-multiply all of that. So you end up with 7 times 8 times 5. 5 times 8 is 40, times 7 is 280. 280. So these are
11.
answer, do it.
Do it, I can.
Oh, no, save. So what is the solution to the systems of equation there? You graphed it and it didn't work?
I was supposed to grab it.
Why
Well, I would. You
Oh,
by the way, wouldn't have to, I suppose. If you did substitution, you would just plug this into that y there. I guess you could do it as 4x minus 1 equals 2x plus 1.
I did elimination.
I don't know why I would do that. Look how easy this would be. Subtract 2x, you get 2x, add 1, 2x equals 2, x should equal 1. And then y equals 3.
This is under substitution.
But this would not be under substitution. I'm pretty sure this is under your graphing. I'm pretty sure the intent of the book to have you do this, because these are both in slope-intercept form. I'm pretty sure their intent was to have you do this. A graph of this line crosses at -1 and it has a 4 slope. 1, 2, 3, 4. And And then the graph of the second one crosses at +1 and has a 2 slope up 1. Oh, look, it crosses right there. Crosses at x is 1, y equals 3. Even with that freehand sketch, it turned out okay. Carolyn, number 2. I love number 2. Remember number 2. Holy smokes, a lot of letters and words in number 2. Graph function of x. Yeah, oh, so did you graph them both, Carolyn? If you graph the first one, by the way, you can change, ladies and gentlemen, if it has f of x, just make that a y. Make that a y. If y equals x, that means it crosses the y-axis at 0 and it has a slope of 1. Up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. So it's going to be this nice diagonal line here. For the second one, it's the same thing, a slope of 1, but it crosses at -3. And if you do that same thing, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, you get a parallel set of lines. And this one was the parent one because it just was all by itself. How do they relate? They're parallel. And this one, the book also said that the second line was shifted down 3 units. If you look at every point, it's just 3 units down. So that's all you need to do to say it's parallel. If you said shifted down 3 units would be good. Eastgate.
Can you go back to 11 for me?
I would love to go back to 11. Did I already do it?
Yeah.
Just graph those lines. That should not be difficult. I will tell you, Carter Westfall, if you're freehand and everything, you're probably going to strike out, sir. There comes a time when you're not in 3rd grade anymore. You actually have to do things the other way. Like writing formulas down. Just the way it works. Evelyn?
Y-intercept of 19. How do you
The y-intercept of 19? How do I find it? Determine the slope. If you're ever asked for this,
Turn it into y-intercept.
yeah, you just need to change it into slope-intercept, which means you just need to solve for y. So here's my equation. Evelyn, so subtract 3x to get it over to that side. So now 4y equals -3x plus 12. You with me? I just move my 3x to the other side. And then to get y by itself, you just divide by 4. Divide by 4, divide by 4. The slope is this. The y-intercept is this. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Crosses the y-axis at 3. Or you could graph it. It would end up there. Oh wait. Oh yeah, y-intercept, you just cover up this too. Remember, because this is in standard form, so you find the x and y-intercepts. That's what I do. I kind of went, I think Parker threw me off. Brian!
Remember 11? Oh, we don't do it. Find it. Substitution.
I didn't say not to.
Okay.
I think that's your better way. Maybe you should do both and make sure they match up, and then you could say, hey, I'm for sure with the right answer. Wow. Are we in impasse?
No.
Did you say no? You know what impasse is?
No.
An impasse. Place we can't get through. Gauss!
How do you get 13?
13. Where is 13, my man? A shoe store is having 20% off all boots. What is the discount and the new price of a pair of boots that originally cost $95? I need somebody else to tell me how they did it so I don't do it some other way. Who got it right? Tyler, what did you do? Did you do?
Multiplied by 0.25.
You didn't do, did anybody do a percent box? Oh, thank you, Carolyn, because that's how, if you struggle with this, I would probably do this. Amelia, this is a discount problem or percent off. So you have your original price minus the discount equals the final price. Here are your percentages and here's your actual. What are my percentages? Original is always 100. My discount was 25, so my final price was 75%. What do I know? Original cost was $95. From there, I can do just about anything. Which one do you want to do first? The discount? Yeah, let's do that. So 100 over 25 is going to equal 95 over what number? That's this in fraction form. What number? And I would probably reduce this. 25 goes into that 4 times. So this is 4 over 1. It doesn't work out in a nice pretty way, but you can do it just like this. 95 times 1 equals 4 times n. So your answer to the discount is going to be whatever 4 into 95 goes, which is 2. 15 is what, 3? $23 and 30, $23.75. This is $23.75. If that's your discount, then you still need to pay what? $61.25? No, $71.25. I was trying to, if you subtract that from that. $71.25. Or you could do like Tyler. Tyler just took 25% of $95. Found out what the discount was and subtracted it. Sometimes that doesn't make sense. Or you could just do the fraction. 1/4 of $95. Cut 95 into 40 pieces. Other ones while we're here. Time is quickly fleeting. What actually is left in this mad house?
4, 12, 14, 16, 18.
Determine the slope of the line. That shouldn't be too hard, should it?
Do 6.
What?
6.
What?
6.
You want me to do 6? Oh. If you're doing number 6 and you don't know what the cube root of 125 is, really, same thing if you prime factorize. You can prime factorize 125. Square root of 125 is the square root of 5 times the square root of 25. The square root of 25 is the square root of 5 times the square root of 5. Since it's the cube root, unlike square roots where you just have to have 2 to get them to cross off, if it's cube root, you have to get 3 of them identically. The square root of 125 breaks down into the square root of 5 times the square root of 5 times the square root of 5. All 3 of those cross off to just give you a normal 5. Or you could just trial and error until you get 1 normal 5. So far so good. I hope so. I could the last time I tried. What is 4? You really want to do 4? Are you struggling with the multiplication of this?
No.
If you multiply this times this, -3 times 2 is -6. A times a squared is a cubed. B times nothing is still b. Am I going too fast?
No.
Plus times a minus gives you a minus. 3 times 4 is 12. There's no a over there, so it just stays a, but there is a b, so it becomes b squared. Minus times a plus gives me a minus. 3 times 3 is 9. There's no a, b over there, but you have to keep them, but there is a c over there. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the distributive.
Yeah, sure.
I predict nothing but good things on this test. We need other colors. Range of scores, translate, slope of the line that contains the point. Huh. Interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, children.